This may be your year where you put yourself in a cocoon, like you literally lock in and you say, this is my year where people are going to feel like I'm being selfish. People are going to feel like I'm not being sociable. People are going to feel like I don't care. But I do care. I care so much that I'm going to take care of me. So that I'm in such a wonderful place in 2025 that I can put more attention on everybody else. It's just like the whole mask on your face first, the oxygen mask on the airplane before your child. It makes sense to want to put it on your child, but it makes more sense that you're alive so that you can help out your child.
Yep, that's it.
And we're back in one of those seasons, which is, when people say, so what do you guys do? Tell me your day-to-day, routine. And I'm like, well, you probably don't want to know our day-to-day today because where we are and where we're headed. Based on where you are right now, I think what you're asking me, if I was where you are right now, what would I do to get to the level that you desire?
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven, and family-focused, and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience. I'm Tracy Self, and I'm here with my amazing husband.
You actually sang amazing just now.
Yes, because you are amazing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. We're here at the end of 2023.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
A whole year. That went by really fast.
It did. Well, for some folks, it may not have gone by so fast.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
By fast for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Welcome. This is the Self-Talk Experience. For those who are just joining us for the first time, these episodes are about the things we say to ourselves about ourselves, because that eventually will determine what you attract for yourself. And so self-talk is critical, right, babe?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very critical. What did you say to yourself to get me?
I said, I am marrying her and she will be my wife forever.
Oh, you said that, babe?
Nah, not really, but it sounded good just now. I didn't. I was just trying to get you to get rid of your boyfriend at the time.
Okay, well, guys, here we are. So what would you like to talk about today?
Look, we have abundant energy match.
We do, because I always match your energy.
That's right, exactly. Well, always is a definite, so.
Okay.
But most times.
Most times.
Yes.
I
So
do.
where'd you get these amazing sweatshirts from?
Our friend Jasmine Steele. We're going to drop the link below so you can order yours too and support and always have an abundant energy match.
That's right. That's right. So today we're going to talk about leveling up, taking it to the next level in 2024.
Okay.
But that means preparation,
Yes.
right? People say, I hope, I wish, and that's never a good strategy or a good plan. So every year we get together and we map out our 2024 or our new year.
Right. But you know what? So everyone does their resolutions. Not everybody, but most people wants to start off the year with New Year's resolutions. And
Yep.
I looked it up. So it said that the 3 top New Year's resolutions that are the most common.
I bet I know too.
What are they?
Make money and lose weight.
Yes. So fitness was first.
Okay.
Finances was second.
Okay.
And third was mental health.
Oh, wow.
Those were the top for 2023 going into 2024.
Yeah.
Those were the top 3 that people want to focus more on.
I could see that. I mean, I think today we are more focused on our mental health than I think previously. Like before, it was like you had to hide it, but now people are actually letting people know, hey, I go to therapy.
Right. So I think I don't know how it's usually, but when I was growing up, it was almost like, oh, they go to therapy. They're crazy. So it wasn't a badge of honor.
Right.
To be proud that, hey, I'm actually working on myself.
Yeah.
I'm getting help to get through what I'm going through.
Right.
That's how it's presented now. But back then, we did. What did you think of it?
No, same thing. Well, first of all, no one talked about it.
No one talked
So
about
I don't really know what people thought about therapy. The word therapy never came up
It was
in my
almost-
household and with my friendships.
Yeah.
But now therapy has come up with our associations, our friends, our family. And so it's almost a courageous thing to do.
Absolutely. I think
I had the courage to,
Yeah, I think back then you were almost kind of made fun of.
Yeah.
So that's why you didn't want to talk about it,
Yeah.
because you felt ashamed or you felt away or trying to figure out what was going on with you.
Yeah. So kudos to those who are making that resolution that, I want to increase my mental health.
Huge.
Yeah. Good for you all, because I believe self-talk is a part of that.
Absolutely.
Right? The things we're saying to ourselves, because we beat up on ourselves so often. So hopefully going into the new year, we'll reshape our self-talk if we are saying negative things to ourselves and harmful things to ourselves, because words have power.
They do.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this question.
Sure.
So we're talking about going into 2024, into the new year as a new person, working on ourselves. So are resolutions the same as goals? Because both of them, to me, have to be attainable and something that makes sense. Something that
like realistic.
that you can, something that's realistic, something that
Right.
you can do. But are they different? Or would you kind of say they kind of run in the same?
Well, a resolution can just be a statement. Like, hey, look, I'm resolving that this year. I'm telling you, I'm 10x in my income. We're going up. It's gonna be lit. Right. So that could be a resolution.
Sure.
But a goal, it has a time stamp to it, like a timeline. Like by March, I'm going to X.
Okay.
I'm going to be 5 pounds lighter, or I'm going to be 2 inches smaller around my waist.
So a resolution is a statement to say you plan to do it, but the goal is the plan,
Right.
right?
Yeah. If I look at how I define a goal when I'm working with folks with their goals, so if it doesn't have a timeline attached to it, then typically it is just a wish. I hope. You know what I mean? I hope. And people say, yeah, I'm hoping to be successful in my new business venture. You know what I mean? Hoping that I'll be married by this time. You know what I mean? Which is great. So nothing wrong with a resolution. Nothing wrong for being optimistic.
I mean, it's still positive self-talk.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So nothing wrong with that. But we were just talking about some of the differences because if you can't measure it, how do you know if you're on track?
Yeah.
So if I just said, hey, look, my hope is to make 6 figures in 2024, and I'm not measuring that, I'm not measuring the activity that's going to lead to that.
Or is it even realistic based on where you are right now?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's part of setting a SMART goal,
Sure.
right? Is it realistic? And first of all, I believe it's realistic for any and everybody if they choose to create the habits that attract a 6-figure income
Right. Absolutely.
or a 6-figure business.
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
have to sit down and really focus on it like we do
Yep.
at the top of the year.
Yeah. So let's share some of the tips that we've been doing this for a long time. And I don't even know how long, but a long time. And this really helped us out again because we really gained clarity on what it is we want so that we can visualize what it is that we have once that goal is achieved.
Right.
And we talk about what that's going to look like and what's that going to require on the road there.
Also, I will say this too. We prepare to prepare because we already have a date in our calendar
Right.
in December for the day that we're going to talk.
Right.
So we don't just come on a day and say, okay, so what are we going to do? We kind of have already individually started thinking about what we want to talk about.
Right. Yep.
And what we plan to bring to the table and kind of have
Yeah.
a conversation with each other.
Yep. No, right. Just the other day, I was like, hey, don't forget that you're going to need to bring this to the table. You're like, yep, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just helpful because it's been a whole year since we've done it, just to remind each other of, this year, by the way, I've got some lofty goals. So if you don't mind, bring this to the table once we meet on this date.
Yeah, there's no pressure of being married to him at all.
Do you not like that? Should I not?
I love it. I do.
No, you can tell me now in front of everybody.
No.
You can tell me if it's too like.
Working. It's been working, babe.
Is it too much accountability?
Oh my God, no. I like Accountability.
You don't sound like it.
Everyone loves accountability.
Well, accountability feels like an attack when we're not ready to receive it.
There it is. Here we are.
Really, Milan is laughing. Milan is our producer
Yeah,
today.
we have a substitute producer today.
Yes.
Our daughter. That's her major, by the way.
Yes.
Excited.
Yeah. So look, so let's give some folks some tips for those who've not done this before. And perhaps, by the time July or August of that year came, they were like, never mind. Because perhaps they didn't start it the right way and no one ever taught them.
Right. But also I may be getting ahead of myself here too, but we have a check-in halfway through.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a regroup and refocus. Okay, so where are we? Is this still something we want to do? Should we maybe be working on something else? This came up. So you do have to revisit the conversation as well.
Absolutely. And sometimes depending on, so you got to be flexible because depending on what's happening, what the goal is, sometimes adjustments have to be made sooner than that.
Sure.
Right. If you feel like you're way off track, but you're right, you have to have check-ins, and there should be some points along the way where you're like, let's have a discussion. And then even then, it shouldn't be flipping. It should be on the way to the movies. You just throw. Oh, by the way, it should be a time where you really sit. If your goals are serious, right? And so if your goals are serious, you got to be locked in.
That's it.
Like locked in. Like this is like if you're in some type of boot camp, you're locked in. Like no cell phone, turn it all off. You're locked in. No distractions, right? Locked in means you limit your distractions, which is one of the things that we talk about. Like on our way to our goal, let's just use 2024. On our way to our 2024 goal, what are 3 things that you believe you can do better?
Yes.
Or you can start that will help us to reach this goal. So first we come up with the goals. Right now, let's talk about what we feel like we individually can do to help us to reach our collective goals. And we may have individual goals too, but let's talk about our collective goal. So our collective goal, what can I do to become the person to attract this new goal? Because who I was in 2023 allowed me to attract what I now have in 2023. What I want to attract in 2024 may require a different version of Darnell, may require a different version of Tracy.
Right.
And so if that's the case, what are we doing to become that version?
And a big deal too, babe, is being honest about your commitment.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with someone else, if you have goals that are aligned and the same, so we're going to do this together, whether it's a spouse or a friend or a business partner. If your other person says, hey, this is what I'm willing to give, what are you willing to give? You have to be honest because it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh yeah, me too. And you really don't sincerely think you can do it or even desire to do it.
Yeah, that's very, very good point. Very good point. And sometimes I come up with what it is I need to do to become that next version of Darnell based on what I saw in myself the last 12 months. Right? I'm like, man, I didn't do good at this. And I believe that I could be better in that if I now did this. So I look at what I failed at or what I fell short in doing in 2023. And perhaps there was something I could have done that could have helped me to move a little bit further in that skill or with that discipline.
Right.
And so that helps me. Right. So and I've already given you one, but so I've already said, hey, look, here's one thing I know I can do better in 2024 to help us to reach our goal. And then we talk about the 3 things that we can either eliminate, perhaps lessen. It's a distraction, right? We're like, hey, look, what do I need to do in order to focus more on the goal? We'll eliminate something that's not feeding the goal, eliminate something that's starving the goal, eliminate something that's a distraction from the goal. And that's something that you and I have talked about every single year. So this year, for an example, I'll just give you guys an example real quickly. So I already told Tracy this, so she already knows, but I said, one of the things that I know I need to do is unfollow certain people that I'm currently following on social media.
Yes, you did.
Right.
Yeah.
And because, when you first start following people, you may follow them because you feel like they add some value. They bring some entertainment. They make you laugh, whatever it is. And then you start to realize because people change their brand too. So it's no knock on the person. They may be changing the type of the type of image or the type of brand that they want for themselves. And then you realize that's not really a match for me right now. It's distracting me. And I started, going down this rabbit hole of nothingness for me in that season. And sometimes it's a season, right?
Yes.
So sometimes in this season, you're like, you know what? I had a really big financial goal, and I need to feed myself with nourishment that helps me to move closer to that goal. If it does not, then in this season, I can't participate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And to realize it.
I know.
And not feel bad about it.
I know. Right? And it's not, I'm making it sound easy, but it is not easy. Yeah. It is not easy because until you become the person that's okay with saying no and without explanation, we talked about this on the episode, because my self-talk is so strong right now, and I'm humbled and excited that I have worked on it so that it's easy for me to say, nope, can't go to that party. Nope, can't go to that reception. Nope, can't go. And it's just, it is what it is. And it's not anything against friendship from someone who may have invited me. It's not anything against me wanting to be celebratory and happy for them. It's just in this moment, in this time, in this season, some things I have to say no to. And you know how some folks have to be at everything. No, seriously. Like they can't say no. They got to, look, yes, I'll attend. Yes, I'll attend. And before they know it, they've attended all these functions and none of it fed their goal. None of it moved them closer to what they said they wanted so badly. Right. And when you look up, you're like, I've been moving backwards. I don't understand. I mean, I've been working hard. Yes, but equally, you've been distracted. You've been working hard, but then distracted. So that's why I say it's hard. It's
hard. And it's also hard to accept that responsibility and not play the blame game.
Yeah.
Like, well, I would have done this in 2023 if such and such, or if, well, no, let's talk about
made the choice,
accountability for ourselves. And that's the hard part, because sometimes you do feel like I could have done this if this person didn't do this to me.
Right.
Or I could have probably done this if this didn't happen. So I understand that part. But sometimes we do that to ourselves and we know we have to take that responsibility on.
Yeah.
We really do. Like we go to 10 parties and realize something we were supposed to get done didn't get done.
Right.
I mean, well, I couldn't miss it because, no, you could.
Right.
Right. So you have to say, you know what? I messed up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Unless the party scene is a part of your goal.
Right.
Because something that could be networking that exists there.
I just said party.
No, I'm saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. Yeah. And I think that, and again, I just want to make sure this is clear for all those who are working on their own self-talk, is you say this all the time, give yourself some grace, because in different seasons, certain things are required. For an example, if right now there's a relationship challenge between a parent and a child,
that's your focus.
Then even though it may not be feeding your financial goal, it is a priority for you.
Absolutely.
Right. So because it's a priority, it's still something that, is important. And because it's important, it's still something that we should work on without feeling guilty. This is what I mean by, you always say, give yourself some grace, because this person over here doesn't have to worry about that right now. So they can completely like, hey, listen, kids, mom's going to do this year. I'm about to start my business. We're about to explode. I need your support. I can't be at everything. They're like, go, mom, go. And they're fine because relationship is healthy. Right. This other child, you can't say that, but like, mom, I'm used to this. You never have time for me. You never attend anything anyway. So that person has to think about the healthy mix in that season that another person wouldn't. And that's why I think self-talk is so important.
So many little details.
Yeah, exactly right.
So many.
Yeah.
Everything isn't one.
That's exactly right. That's why when people watch gurus and listen to gurus, you just have to be careful, because they're speaking from their own experience and the experience of those who they've learned from. But we're people and we're all different. We all have different dynamics and situations. And you know what I mean? We all different starting points. And so that's why we have to be flexible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's pivot just a little bit, because as we're setting these goals and as we're talking about, what's going to happen over the next year, in this case, 2024, we're talking about the things that we can do to help us to be more prepared, to be more skilled to attract whatever that goal is, right? To be able to go out and make that happen. If it's taking classes, if it's courses. So we talk about those things. The 3 things that you can do, the 3 things I can do, the things we can do collectively to move towards that goal. And then the things that we feel like could be distracting, or things that we should be eliminating, or things we should be doing less of, or we're okay with doing less of. But here's the pivot. Because I said it's seasonal, this may be your year where you put yourself in a cocoon, like you literally lock in and you say, this is my year where people are going to feel like I'm being selfish. People are going to feel like I'm not being sociable. People are going to feel like I don't care. But I do care. I care so much that I'm going to take care of me. So that I'm in such a wonderful place in 2025 that I can put more attention on everybody else. It's just like the whole mask on your face first, the oxygen mask on the airplane before your child. It makes sense to want to put it on your child, but it makes more sense that you're alive so that you can help out your child.
Yep, that's it.
And we're back in one of those seasons, which is, when people say, so what do you guys do? Tell me your day-to-day, routine. And I'm like, well, you probably don't want to know our day-to-day today, because where we are and where we're headed, based on where you are right now, I think what you're asking me, if I was where you are right now, what would I do to get to the level that you desire?
Right.
And I think that's important, right? So when I'm speaking with an audience, it's always important that I'm speaking to where that person is, not from where I am. Because if I'm not careful, I'm like, hey, listen, right now you should be doing this, no more this. And they're like, well, it's easy for you. You don't even have a job.
Right.
You're not worried about your bills.
Sure.
Right. So it's a different level of frustration, and there's a different level of hesitation that comes when you're not sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When we say lock in for the next year looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
So whatever that looks like for you and whatever level you can do it on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It may not be on a level, like you said, that your brother's on or your cousin's on or your mom is on, but you do yours.
Yeah.
You get what you need to get together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. And so, listen, take a look in the mirror, make a commitment. And if you're like, man, I never stick to my commitments, that's one of the 3 things that can help you to become a better version of yourself, to attract what it is you want to attract. And that is, I'm going to stick to my commitment. How do you stick to your commitment? So you just keep peeling the onion back. How do I stick to my commitment? Well, I need to be held accountable, because I say it and then I just let myself look. I'm like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll get back on track. So accountability. Well, how do I hold myself accountable? Maybe having a workout partner. How do I find a workout partner? Find someone with similar goals. How do I find someone with similar goals? Join groups where people are talking about the same things you're talking about, right? Where you don't have to be timid and feel like you're going to come across as pompous and arrogant if you talk about your goal, because if you're around people that have similar goals, they're used to talking about that type of goal. Yeah, so they're not going to talk down to you. They're not going to feel like you're being selfish. They're not going to feel like, you're hating or they're hating, because they are like-minded.
Yeah.
And so this is a season where you have to make sure that you are taking care of you, that you're locking in, like T-Self said, to however you define that, lock in, let's go, become the version of you that's going to attract what the next version of you can't help but to attract, because it's not what you want, it's who you become. Who you become will determine what you attract. And hopefully you're ready to line those 2 things up. Set up what you want, become the person to attract it, and let's go get it. Anything else?
No, that was great. Let's hit it. 2024 is on the way.
Let's go. Listen, guys, remember, this is self-talk. You have to be continuous with this. The things we say to ourselves all the time, about ourselves all the time, will eventually determine what we attract for ourselves all the time. See you guys next time.
And if you unfollow me, I might unfollow you too.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.